Well, we finally made it to Hot Springs after that treacherous, icy road through the National Forest. What you see here on my left, it used to be a golf course and country club. It's called the Belvedere. And you know, Hot Springs, the gangsters back in Al Capone's day, this was kind of a neutral territory, and they'd come here for their vacations and stuff. And supposedly different rivalry gangs that be killing each other up in Chicago had a truce here. They'd come here and hang out. And they had casinos back in the day. You know, back then, they've got a new one now. They just finally let them come back in. But there were several casinos, and when we get to town, I'll show you the one that Al Capone frequented. But anyway, this Belvedere was the country club back here that is long gone now, but a lot of them used to hang out at. This place here used to sell rocks and stuff. I don't know if they still do or not. It says Wedding Chapel now. This Hot Springs is a national park. It's not like, you know, you think of Yosemite and stuff like that. It's actually the town itself. It had thermal hot springs, and the Indians would come here back before anybody else, you know, and they believe it had healing properties. Well, then when they settled it, they came in and put bathhouses and stuff like that, which they've got a thing called Bathhouse Road, and we'll pass it. And back in the well, I guess the 1800s and 20s and 30s, it was real popular. And then, like I said, then they had the gambling and all that. When in the 60s, they outlawed it, and the last couple of years, they finally passed a law and brought it back. And this barbecue place here has been there forever. And this is the old Highway 5, so this is how you used to come into town. And I mentioned it in a previous video, but Bonnie and Clyde run through here. They rob banks in this area, and so they've been up and down this highway. I believe that used to be an old retirement home. And this up here used to be an old hotel, and I showed it in one of my previous videos, and I'll have to leave a description to tell you what it was. But it was kind of an Art Deco type hotel. You can kind of see it because of the sun, and a bunch of these old fancy homes. And one of them over here, I think Bill Clinton grew up in, but I couldn't tell you 100% sure which one it is. So you had a lot of small hotels that people used to stay at, you know, back in the 40s and 50s, and some of them are still scattered through here. I don't think they're like that. I don't think they're operational anymore. I think they're more like permanent residents. And that could have been the one where Bill Clinton lived. I'm not sure, though. Don't quote me on that. These pretty old houses and architecture. Sad to see some of them in the shape that they're in now. It's like old craftsman style home. Me and my wife both love craftsman style. That's Bailey's. They've been there forever, and they have pretty good ice cream. And up here on the right was the Velda Rose. It's been abandoned for a long time. It was a hotel. We had, my job used to have several conferences there. We'd stay there. And on the other side of it over here was the Majestic Hotel, and it was a National Register of Historic Places, but anyway, it burned down, unfortunately. It used to be right there. Now we're coming in old downtown. Now if you go that way, is I think where they used to, there's an alligator farm or something. Go down there and play with the alligators. And that is the Arlington Hotel on the left with the flag above it. Al Capone stayed there when he would come to Hot Springs. Pancake House, one of my favorite. Now this is the medical building. It's abandoned now, but it used to be doctors' offices and stuff. And this museum was the Southern gambling casino. When Al Capone, there were tunnels underneath between the hotel and here, and he would go back and forth into that hotel and the casino. On the left is Bathhouse Row. A lot of the bathhouses are still here. One of them is a museum now. And like I said, thermal hot water comes up. As a matter of fact, there used to be a hot water river, I guess, running right here where we're on top of it, and they built this road on top of it. The big building in the back was the Navy medical building. Okay, that building there with the green on it used to be a hotel there as well, and the professional baseball players, including Babe Ruth, would come here for summer practice, and they would stay in that hotel. And then we won't see it today, but down one of the roads there's used to be where the ball fields were, where they practiced and played. Yeah, if you go straight, it goes to the casino and to the horse track. We're not going that way. We're going to turn right here. Back into the sun. It's the old courthouse. And that up there, white building, I think it's a Catholic church. Not sure how old it is. It's old, I know that, but I couldn't tell you how old. Now here's pretty soon we're going to be seeing McClard's Barbecue. I'll point that out to you when we get there. And they're pretty famous. They've been around for over 100 years. And I think they might be under new ownership now. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, I'll try to find out for you, but that house straight ahead that had the R on it was, there was a mobster that came here that brought the mob here, and I think that might have been where he lived. And I had to find his name and let you know that, but he was the first one here and told the rest of them about it, and then that's when they had made this their little getaway area. And for years, Hot Springs, I guess they were embarrassed by it. They wouldn't even talk about the mafia past and gangster past, but they're kind of embracing it now. It's kind of a, history, nostalgic thing. So, I mean, it's part of history. I don't know why people try to cover up history. History is history. I was saying, if you don't know history, it's doomed to repeat itself. But all right, there's McClard's Barbecue. Andy's Restaurant. If that's the same one, used to be a franchise, and I worked there as a teenager, and not here, but when I was where I grew up. I didn't even know they're still around. Now if you keep going, we got Lake Ouachita, which is a big lake. One here in Hot Springs is Lake Hamilton. And Lake Hamilton, now they got a bunch of wealthy people that have bought places there on that lake. A lot of famous people too. Now this will actually go to Lake Hamilton, which is where we're going. My dad has a lake house on Lake Hamilton. That's where we're going right now. But we won't cross the bridge. But going out this way too is if you're ever flying to Hot Springs, it's going to be the Hot Springs Airport. And we'll pass that on the left up here in just a few minutes. Not a big airport, but they do have flights coming in. There's the airport. So that way, the Mid-America Museum. It's a interactive museum. It's like a science museum for kids. They got all kinds of scientific stuff in there, and they can actually hands-on learn stuff. There's a lot to do in Hot Springs. Well, it's the next day. I'm heading home, but I thought I'd show you going the other direction, going through downtown Hot Springs. We'll be turning here in just a minute to the left, and you'll see Bathhouse Row again, and it'll be on, when we turn left, it'll be on our right. Better view today too, since the sun's behind us. We got some businesses on the right, and once we pass those, you'll see Bathhouse Row. There's a tower on the mountain over there that you can go up in, or an overlook, see Hot Springs. Shuttle buses. There's the old Navy hospital. And this is the beginning of Bathhouse Row on the right. Trying to concentrate and pay attention to traffic, so if you excuse me if I get tongue-tied when I'm trying to narrate. These are some of them are still operational bathhouses. I know one's a museum, and I think one of them they've turned into a restaurant. Here's the Ohio Club with the lights on there with a little outcrop at the top, and there's still bullet holes in the wall from the gangster days. This is what I've been told. Arlington Hotel straight ahead. mentioned before, it's where Al Capone would stay when he come to Hot Springs. It's still open. The Josephine's Wax Museum was the Southern Club. And Al Capone stayed on the 4th floor of the Arlington, and it was said that there is tunnels. They'll show you if you go in there, but he'd go down through the tunnels and go up into the club. Well, if the police would raid, he'd sneak down through the tunnel and back to his hotel room, and they wouldn't get caught there. I think Brownsville, Texas, there's another hotel that was built to the specs of the Arlington, but it's abandoned. But the Arlington is still open for business. You still stay there, and you can rent Al Capone's room. There's one of my favorite places to eat here on the left is the pancake shop, but usually there's a line to get in. But really good food, and they've been there for a long time. Used to be the Majestic Hotel, which I mentioned before. This was the Belle de Rose, which is abandoned now. And we're getting down into where some of the older homes are in Hot Springs. I'd love to see. I've come here since a kid, but I'd love to see this during its heyday. I love the old architecture of the old homes and buildings and stuff. Maybe one of these days we can take a ride through some of the neighborhoods and look around. I don't have time. I'm back over here. Oh, traffic's worse today. Today's Thursday, it's the middle of the week, but we've had some really cold and icy weather in the last couple of days. Have been pretty and a little warmer, so I guess people that's why they're out. So that's a mansion, so alright, dude. Nice old car. So I named this hotel here in one of my other videos. I'll have to tell you which one it is again, but it's been abandoned for years. Somewhere up here, I think I know where the entrance is. I'll show you, but it used to be a water park, like in the 30s and 40s, and it was a big old, I guess, a reservoir type thing that they had backed water into, and they had slides and swings that swing into it, stuff like that. This park here used to have an army tank out there. It's gone, it looks like, and there's supposed to be a cave back in the woods somewhere. I've seen another video on it, but I've never personally checked it out. Maybe one of these days. A lot of construction there where you go. We are currently on Scenic Highway 7. It does go through Hot Springs. Now here, is a rest home. It's called the Belvedere, and I talked about it previously. That's where the Belvedere Country Club was, and that apparently was a major gangster hangout. And they've long since tore down, and now that rest home sits there. But that is where the Belvedere Country Club was. Oh, look at that. So that's new. Solar panels. There used to be some older buildings here, I think, but must be new construction for this highway. They probably tore them down. There's, like I said, a lot of construction all over Arkansas, way more than normal. Let me know if that's going on in your state. I don't know if that's because of the federal money or what, but I've never seen this much construction going on. Now that swimming park I was telling you about earlier, back from the 40s and 50s, was behind this white stucco gate right here. That's the way that used to be the entrance to it. Back with you, and we're on Highway 9 North, going through the Ouachita National Forest. There's a sign. So a little bit prettier scenery than what we had there. I spared you, so you wouldn't be too bored. Entering Perry County. Be careful through here, because with the ice we had, I know a lot of the, in the shaded areas, still spots.